Tragic jet crash in Dhaka, 16 students and 2 teachers killed. In a devastating turn of events, a tragic accident in Dhaka has left 19 people dead, including 16 students, 2 teachers, and a pilot. The incident occurred when a Bangladesh fighter jet crashed into the Milestone School and College in the Uttara neighborhood of Dhaka on a Monday afternoon. The impact was catastrophic, resulting in the loss of young lives and causing severe injuries to over 100 individuals, many of whom are students. The injured have been rushed to nearby hospitals, with at least 8 in critical condition, according to medical professionals. The number of injured continues to rise, adding to the gravity of the situation. The pilot, Flight Lieutenant Mohammed Tukur Islam, was among the fatalities. The crash has sent shockwaves through the community, with Bangladesh's interim leader, Muhammad Yunus, expressing deep grief and sorrow over the incident. In a heartfelt post on social media, he acknowledged the irreparable loss suffered by the Air Force, the students, parents, teachers, and staff of Milestone School and College, as well as others affected by this tragic accident. He described it as a moment of profound pain for the nation. In response to the crisis, Mr. Yunus' office has released a list of emergency phone numbers and helplines for those in need of assistance. The emergency contact numbers include the Military Rescue Brigade, CMH Burn Unit, CMH Emergency, Milestone School Admin Officer, Vice Principal, and the National Emergency Helpline 999, which connects callers to the burn units of Bangladesh Police's emergency cell. The aircraft involved in the crash was an F-7 BGI, an advanced version of the Chinese J-7 fighter. It had taken off at 1:06 p.m. for a training flight but crashed shortly afterward into a building where students were taking tests or attending regular classes. The impact was devastating, as seen in TV footage and videos shared online, which showed fire and smoke billowing from the crash site. Emergency personnel worked tirelessly to put out the blaze, while haunting clips revealed the wrecked jet engine buried under the rubble of what was once a classroom. One particularly distressing video showed an injured man, covered in soot and debris, with his clothes torn and hanging by threads, being led away by a bystander. The footage underscored the sheer magnitude of the tragedy and the urgent need for support and assistance. But here's where it gets controversial. Some have questioned the safety protocols and training procedures of the Bangladesh Air Force. Was this a preventable accident, or was it an unavoidable tragedy? The public is divided, with some calling for a thorough investigation into the incident to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. And this is the part most people miss: the emotional toll on the survivors and the community. The trauma of witnessing such a horrific event can have long-lasting effects on mental health. It's crucial that support systems are in place to help those affected cope with the aftermath. In the wake of this tragedy, we must ask ourselves, what can be done to prevent such accidents in the future? How can we ensure the safety of our children and educators? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's come together to support the victims and their families during this difficult time. Tragic Bangladesh Air Force jet crash at school, 19 dead, over 160 injured, full coverage. A tragic disaster has struck the heart of Dhaka, leaving at least 19 people dead and over 160 injured after a Bangladeshi Air Force training jet crashed into a school. This heartbreaking event unfolded in the northern suburb of Uttara, at the Milestone School and College, where the plane collided with a 2-story building, sparking a massive fire and billowing thick smoke that quickly engulfed the area. But here's where it gets particularly alarming. The school was filled with children as young as 4 up to teenagers of 18 years old. According to an official Facebook statement from the armed forces, the F-7 jet ran into a mechanical issue shortly after takeoff during a routine training flight around 1 p.m. local time, 7:06 Greenwich Mean Time. Despite the pilot's efforts, the crash was unavoidable, and tragically, the pilot, Flight Lieutenant MD Tukur Islam, also lost his life. The armed forces highlighted that the pilot tried to steer the failing aircraft away from heavily populated areas in a final, courageous attempt to minimize the damage. Emergency responders acted swiftly, rushing more than 50 injured victims, including many children and several adults, to local hospitals like the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery. A doctor from that hospital revealed that numerous patients suffered severe burns, underscoring the horrible intensity of the blaze. Eyewitnesses from inside the school offer a haunting picture of the crash's immediate aftermath. Rizal Islam, a teacher at the college, told BBC Bangla he saw the plane crash directly into their building. Another teacher, Masood Tariq, described hearing a loud explosion before turning to see flames and smoke consuming the school, with frightened students and guardians in the vicinity. One student, visibly shaken, recounted witnessing the terrifying moment the jet struck the structure right in front of my eyes. Rescue teams continue to comb through the charred debris, working tirelessly to locate any survivors, while crowds have gathered, some climbing nearby buildings just to catch a glimpse of the devastation. The authorities have launched a formal investigation to determine the exact cause and circumstances of the crash. Muhammad Yunus, head of Bangladesh's interim government, expressed deep sorrow over the catastrophe and assured the public that necessary steps will be taken to investigate the cause and to provide all possible support. He urged all related agencies, including hospitals, to treat the incident with the highest priority and care. In recognition of the national tragedy, Bangladesh has declared a day of mourning for Tuesday, instructing that the national flag be flown at half-mast across the country. This heartbreaking accident raises difficult questions about aviation safety and emergency preparedness, especially near densely populated civilian areas. Should training exercises involving high-speed jets be conducted so close to schools and residential neighborhoods? And what more could be done to prevent such mechanical failures and improve pilot response protocols in the future? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think enough is being done to protect civilians from military training risks? Or is this an unfortunate but unavoidable part of modernization? This is the part most people miss. Balancing national defense training and public safety is a controversial and complex challenge. Bangladesh Air Force plane crash in Dhaka, at least 19 dead, 50 plus injured. Imagine being in the midst of a bustling college campus, surrounded by the vibrant sounds of students taking tests or attending classes, when suddenly, disaster strikes. A training aircraft from the Bangladesh Air Force crashes into the Milestone School and College in Dhaka's Uttara neighborhood, leaving a trail of devastation and heartbreak in its wake. The incident has left at least 19 people dead, mostly students, and over 50 injured, with many suffering severe burns. The tragic event unfolded at around 1 p.m. local time, when students were in the middle of their day. The F-7 BGI aircraft's impact was catastrophic, causing a massive fire that sent a thick plume of smoke into the sky, as onlookers watched in horror from a distance. Firefighters battled to control the blaze, spraying water on the mangled remains of the plane, which had rammed into the side of a building, damaging its structure. The aftermath was captured in videos showing people screaming and crying as others tried to comfort them. Bidhan Sarkar, head of the burn unit at the Dhaka Medical College and Hospital, described the chaos, noting that a third-grade student was brought in dead, along with others aged 12, 14, and 40 who were admitted to the hospital. Masood Tariq, a teacher at the school, recounted the terrifying moment, saying, "When I was picking up my kids and went to the gate, I realized something came from behind. I heard an explosion. When I looked back, I only saw fire and smoke." The leadership of Bangladesh's interim government, led by Muhammad Yunus, vowed to take necessary measures to investigate the accident and ensure support for the affected families. Yunus also activated an emergency hotline at the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery. The Bangladesh Red Crescent Society appealed for donations to help those injured. This tragic incident comes just over a month after another aviation disaster in neighboring India, where an Air India plane crashed on top of a medical college hostel in Ahmedabad, resulting in one of the worst aviation disasters in a decade. The incident raises important questions about aviation safety and the measures in place to prevent such tragedies. As we reflect on these events, we are reminded of the need for vigilant safety protocols and the importance of community support in times of crisis. What do you think are the most critical steps that can be taken to enhance aviation safety and prevent similar incidents in the future?